everybody.
Hey!
Hey, Maria. Hey, Addie.
Hello.
Nice to be back in the saddle again.
Yes, for sure.
It's been a wild week for us. So good news. Hope is home. And I just wanted to thank everybody, people who just started following me and people who've been following me for a long time. All like the nice messages that we got, and people that were truly worried about our little big boy Hope that's on the couch next to Cody right now. He's home. He's doing good.
You should show the pictures of it, like his little band.
He's in a gang now because they had to shave. They put a little bandana around his arm and shaved him. So he's in a gang. So the good news is he's home.
Gang.
The bad news is, but it's okay. Now we get like goods cheaper thanks to him. So, but honestly, everybody who sent me all those messages worrying about Hope, like that really meant the world to me. I couldn't even get through all of them. I've been unplugged for a bit. On top of what just happened with Hope, one of my very best friends that I've known for 25 years since high school, her mom just passed away, so we had to go to New York and do the wake and all that stuff. So it's just been like a week for me not to be online because I knew that I had a pretty short fuse and best to avoid. Because I saw myself replying to people in comments on Instagram, I'm like, uh-oh, John, you're getting snippy. So I was like, let's just unplug for a bit. So we're home. Funeral's done. Hope is home. And we're good. So I'm trying to catch up now. I missed a lot in 6 days. But, it's the gossip world. So yeah, you would, if you're not plugged in for 20 minutes, you miss a lot. So I am in the process of catching up, and I'm just happy to be back. So with that being said, hello, Barbie, Wendy H, Tanya, Perfectly Imperfect, MTT, Donnell, Wendy H, Judy, Barbie, Ellie, Susie Bella, Christina B, Patricia with a C, Jewel. Let's see.
Hi, Jay Freak.
Jay Freak, hello. Oh, grab my mic. Teddy M. Wicked. Oh, that reminds me. Thank you, Wicked. All right, let me stop here before I forget. So I'm going to set my lives up for the week after this live is over. Tomorrow night, we have Jersey Housewives, and I'm working on something. I don't want to say anything yet, but it might be really interesting tomorrow. I don't know yet. Thursday, we're going to, and I'm sorry for canceling Sister Wives last week, but, with Hope being sick, I didn't have the head for it. And if you saw my Instagram post that day, there was no way I was going live and talking about Sister Wives. So we're going to redo Sister Wives for Thursday. And then that was episodes, 5, 6, and 7?
That sounds right.
Okay, I'm going to add 8 and 9.
That's a long episode.
Wait, are they past 20 minutes?
No, they're not. I mean, I feel like if you want to skip an episode, I'd skip 6, but I already watched it because you could cover it in 2 sentences.
Well, we're running out of time. We're only on season 2, right? Yeah. And there's 17 seasons, and after that, they go for an hour or 2 hour an episode. So we kind of have to catch up.
Okay, so we got to do 8 and 9 as well.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh my Lord.
You've already listen, if you've done your homework, you've already watched 5, 6, and 7. So 8 and 9 should not be that much more.
Yeah, but my memory is only this long.
We're gonna take a big chunk of season 2 so we can move on. So, and then we have our contest for Sister Wives on Thursday, which is it's not Yates U. It's what is it?
It's we're gonna do the Brown family crest. So just a family crest,
like my crest, but with the Browns.
But with the Browns, yes.
And
the prize is some LuLaRoe stretch pants.
from Mary. You know, we're gonna get them from Mary. Your prize is LuLaRoe. And yeah, so that's Thursday. And then Friday, we have a special interview with somebody from 90 Day Fiancé that I've never been live with before, who is making headlines. So that will be Friday night at 9:00. So I'm gonna set the lives up after. I've been going like full speed. So that's the schedule for this week. Back to the roll call. Thank you for reminding me of that. So back to it. Let me see. Who did I miss? Elizabeth W. Hello. I'm just scrolling because there's a good chat going on with people that I've already met. All right, I think we're good. If I didn't say hi to you, I'll say hi to you in the chat. Also, Ashley Nicole, hello. Which network or streaming channel will Amish be on? Oh, like Return to Amish, like that. I don't know. TLC.
Escaping Amish.
Is it Escaping Amish?
It's Return to Amish. It's one of
Thank
my favorite
you,
shows. It's one of my favorite shows. Yay, it's back.
Poor host. Trying to give you a shot.
I love.
So if you're not a member and you'd like to be, hit the join button. If you're an Apple user, please do it from like Google Chrome. They'll charge you more. If you're an Android user, you have no issue. And I think we're good. So I'm going to play the intro. This is a great episode. And you know, my thoughts on the show in general, but like, I have to say that I have maybe been enjoying The Other Way a little bit.
You were so mad that we had to do The Other Way.
Like a small amount, just like a skosh. So a skosh of enjoyment I've been getting out of it. I'm not pausing it every 5 minutes like I usually do. So I'm actually like, I like the couples on the show for the most part. So let's get into it. I'm going to start the intro and then we are
teeny tiny shots.
Oh, Stephanie, stop.
That one on.
He is. He's fabulous. And he's on the inside.
Pull that one on.
And he's on the inside.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so where do we start with this one? I kind of want to save Gabe and Isabelle for the end because that was like, you know, the real bread and butter of this episode, I thought. And you know, kudos to TLC for I learned something on this episode. The Learning Channel. I learned something from the Learning Channel.
Okay, hold on a second. You learned something.
Oh, Wendy H. Oh my God, thank you.
Okay, hold on. There's too many things happening at one time. Oh, also. Also, I made you.
What did I miss? Wait, what is that?
You said you were learning something. You said you were learning something. I made you a stupid thing.
Wait, put it back up.
Oh, okay.
The more
Oh, you want a rainbow? Well, you weren't specific. I just made whatever I felt like. I'll give you a rainbow.
It's like the more you know, you need the rainbow.
Well, I don't want it to. I didn't want to be too exact. You know what I mean? But sure, we can give you a rainbow.
Over the
There, wait, I'll give him hair. He gets hair. Hold on.
I love it. I love it. I love it, Maria.
I'll throw a rainbow on there.
I love it. Thank you so much. You're in charge of that graphic, by the way. So, like, yeah.
Okay.
That's your department. Hey, gotta be me. And I also want to thank Seraphim for. Okay, so I got this in the mail. I love my early birthday presents. My birthday's on March 27th. In case you wanted to send stuff. I don't know. Shameless plug. But I was talking about my instrument collection, and I wanted a little mini harp. So Seraphim actually sent me a little mini harp.
I think I just died.
Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen?
It's very cute.
Oh,
So adorable.
Like, look. So one day I'll have a full-size harp in my house.
Right in the middle of the living room.
Right in the middle of it. I'll take harp lessons to learn how to play it.
I'll have to play for you.
You're not that coordinated.
You ain't gonna play it.
So
I'll
thank
have to
you,
play it.
Seraphim, for my little mini harp. It is just so adorable. I love it so much.
Does it make a noise?
It doesn't. You can't
It's
play
just
it.
decorative. Okay.
It's decorative, but I was saying I want like the little mini harps that the cherubs played, so I love it, and thank you so much. It really made me smile. So thank you, Seraphim, on that one. And Seraphim hasn't been feeling good either, so let's
love you,
I'll keep
Seraphim.
her in our thoughts. So there's that. All right, so where do we start with this live? Which voice do I need to do first?
Well, I mean, Jen and Rishi was pretty good too. I mean, there's a lot of good ones.
I would love to kick off the show. Okay, let's do it.
I mean,
Okay, Jen and Rishi. All right, so it's the next day after meeting with the family, right?
yeah.
She found, in that meeting she found out that, Rishi's parents have been actively looking for a suitable wife for Rishi for a year and a half.
Depends on who translated. Sometimes it's 2.5, sometimes it's 1.5 years.
And Rishi's how old is Rishi? He's up there, right?
He's 32.
Oh, I thought he was in Jen's 46. I want to
42.
say 42.
No, 46. No, you're right. 46. You were right.
Okay.
You're right.
So, all right. Jen feels confused and horrified. I'm confused and horrified about these actions taken at Rishi's home last night. And I love Jen. I do. I like her. I do. So, my voice is in Jen's voice, and get over it if you don't like it. So, she goes to a fitness class with her friend Deer.
Ha! Ho! Ha! Ho! Ha! Ho! Ha! Ho! He was a lot.
Is that Zumba? Is that what they do in Zumba?
I think that was its own thing.
Capoeira? I don't know what it was, but I don't know what it was. But it was very fast. And she's having kind of a heart-to-heart with Deer, asking Deer, his thoughts on her situation with Rishi and the family and this, that, and the other. What did you guys think? I
liked him. I mean, he was over the top, but he had some good questions because she's kind of talking, and he's kind of like, what is exactly that you're afraid of? Are you afraid that he's not going to marry you? He just kind of cut right to it, and I appreciated that. Man, I like Jen too. This whole episode too. I liked everything this episode.
Of course you like me. I'm great. I'm full of like surprises. I haven't done my imitation in a bit. So, in like, Dear says to her, like, I feel like your heart's one place and your brain's in another place. And she's like, you know me, you just know me so well, dear.
I know that wasn't like a giant thing to think, but whatever.
So she knew him from when she was there prior. That's what
prior, yes.
Right. So it took me a minute to figure that. I go, why is she acting like she knows this guy like the inside of him? So
I thought that was like a bit like
it was a lot for me. It was like, do you know him really that? I mean, do you know each other really that well?
I kind of felt like there might have been something there. No,
something there, like they have a connection.
Well,
I thought it was him.
Like, they're very similar. Dear does like, like the, whatever that fitness class is. And Rishi is also a yoga instructor, right? Yoga. Oh my God, I just said that. I put an R at the end of yoga.
So you're saying she has a type. You're saying that this is
yes.
Her
you didn't think that.
I kind of thought he was similar to Rishi already. I kind of see Rishi as very artistic with the whole yoga, and he's very out, like love and all the stuff. And this guy is like out there with the music. I can't decide what music that was.
It was very intense. Like, just watching that scene, I felt like I needed to drop like 3 ecstasy pills. And like, where's my glow sticks? Like, I just, it was very intense. Like, it reminded me of my club days back in my 20s. I don't know. But hey, listen, and she asked Dear, am I being crazy? And he says that he doesn't think that she's being like unreasonable, and that
she's not.
I don't think she is either.
No, she's not. I think what Dear said, that he thinks that Rishi's making a fool of her because, while the son-mother relationship in India is very strong and very important, if he tells his mom, this is what's going to make me happy, moms will get on board because they want their sons to be happy. So,
and I was listening to that, and he said that, the mom might get mad for like a day or two, but then she'll come around because she wants to make her son happy. And I'm like, oh, how does Submit's mom fit into this one? Because Submit, like,
that's a whole different neighborhood.
But according to Dear, in the Indian culture, like the mom will always kind of acquiesce to like the son. And we don't see that happening with, Jenny and Submit with the mom at all, ever.
Yes. No.
The mom would rather like die 1,000 deaths than ever admit to Jenny being like, Submit's wife. So I don't know. And like 1,000 horrible deaths, like not like just like a death, like, like put me on the surface of the sun type of death, like just like really like gruesome, not fun way to go.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I get you. Let's see. I'm moving too slow.
Oh, 1DH. Oh, thank you so much for that super chat. Like, it's hard being me and being in these streets, me being Jen, and I just want the best for me.
Who could blame her?
I love Jen. I've talked to Jen, like, and I like, but like, I gotta do my voices. So
I've talked to her a little bit too. I didn't know because the show didn't really tell us what her profession was. She looked weirdly, in the first episodes, like she just.
I'm a motivational speaker.
It looked like she just worked at her brother's farm and just did whatever. But no, she's a speech pathologist. So she has a real. She has a real profession. I mean.
I just love the way she talks and her being her. Like, like
her speech.
I think I might start talking like this all the time. I mean, if Dorit can do it from Beverly Hills, I certainly can carry this accent on for the rest of my life.
Yes.
I
mean, I also want to say, like, it's not even just that she is so articulate, with the way she says words. Also, she's really good at getting to the heart of matters. Like this whole episode was a masterclass. Like last week was good, and then you roll into this, and she is just like flow charting her way to get Rishi to, turn his little brain on. So.
And I think Jen is being super cool about it. Like,
yes,
really, really super cool. She knows what she's walking into. And even with going to the parents' house and her sitting there knowing that the mom trying to actively get a wife for him, and she stood there and she took it. I mean, not many people can do that.
She did that, but she did it, like she could have blown it up. She even said it herself, I could have blown it up, but I'm not going to. He needs to walk the rest of this walk. But, she asked all the questions to get him there and to get mom there. She asked all the things. She laid the groundwork for him, but she needs him to cross the finish line. I just love it. I love it.
I just love Jen so much. She's like my new role model.
I do think she's gonna handle this well. I think though through the whole thing, she may be annoyed at him if he keeps this nonsense up about his year or months and years and stuff and can't get his time frame right. But I think that
no, go ahead. Sorry.
I just think that she wants it so much, and I think she likes where she's at. She likes the culture. She likes everything that it's not just I want a man. I think she's looking at this thing like I have to do this. I need them to see how I am. And then she's going to learn more about that as we go along. You'll see more of what she says about how he tells her how to progress. But I think she's into it and she's trying, and that's what I like about her.
Oh yeah, I think she's trying.
Oh yeah.
And going back to what I said in the beginning, there are couples that I actually believe in, and I believe in them. I see their story as genuine, which I can't fucking believe, to be honest with you. I kind of wrote this show off as you're fake, this fake, but I actually believe them.
I don't believe she's getting up at 4:00 to make no
damn
tea.
We didn't get there yet.
We didn't get there yet.
We didn't get there yet, Cody.
No. First, we have to get to a kite festival, which was just fun.
Actually, I need Cody's insights on this in a second, Cody. Because Cody came with some facts when we were watching this, and I'm like, look at you. But all right, so is that okay? Are we good with that first scene with her and Deer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then it's the kite festival, and which looks like a lot of fun. They're on the roofs, and I would want to be there.
Yeah.
Festive.
I thought they would be in a field. The fact that everybody's on the roofs just battling each other.
This is where Cody comes in now. Okay. So Cody, do you want to tell the world about your information on the kite? What you told me?
It's just very short. I was telling John when it popped up on TV, I was like, John, I said, holy camole. I said
he didn't say holy camole, but that's okay.
I didn't. I said holy, but I'm not saying it on here. Beep, 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 beep. But I read that a lot of people actually die during these kite festivals because over there in the other countries, they don't use yarn and stuff like we do here for our kites. They use I
don't think they use yarn for kites.
Well, whatever it is.
You crochet.
I don't know, but it's not used over here.
Nylon kite string.
But it has like glass fibers and everything in their string over there that what they use, because when they
Because
they're
they want to
up there,
battle, right?
and as you saw, like he keeps tugging on the kite to like keep
Do
it
you want to
up
get
there
on
and stuff.
camera, Cody, so people can see your arm? Like you're using
No.
arm gestures, and like no one can see what you're saying.
Well, they know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean,
Go
like
ahead, Cody.
everybody saw like he was pulling on the kite to like get it, to stay up there and like to do its thing and like whatever. So it has to be stronger than ours. So they actually use a glass fiber type of like material. And I was reading it, I don't know why, but there was two young kids that were riding their bikes. Two kites actually fell from the sky, and I don't know, off a building or in a field. I don't know, but the kids got like tangled up in the string, and the people were pulling the string, and it actually
They got decapitated.
the two kids because of the glass fibers. It cut their heads off.
Sure, it's probably like a freak thing.
I don't know, because there's a lot. If you look it up, there's a lot of people that get killed. There was another guy that lost his arm because a string from somebody else that it got wrapped around his arm and his arm came off. So it's a dangerous but beautiful, I guess.
It just brings a whole new meaning to the saying. So
On that note, I'm gonna continue cooking my chicken noodle soup.
Okay, and there you go. Stay on the roofs or indoors if you like. But okay, so that they're having fun with that. It was like a fun scene.
Yes.
And then how long will it take for them to get to know me is what. Well, Rishi, listen, I'm here in India, right? And I've given up everything. So how long is it going to take for your family to get to know me? What's it going to take? And Rishi was happy with the first outing.
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, this went well, and she's like, well, for me it didn't. I felt like I was deceiving them. And what did he say next? What did he say next? Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, listen, Barbie, Cody, come here.
Holy moly!
Cody's
coming in with the
always
hot facts.
listen. Barbie just said 6 dead. Oh shoot! What did I do? I don't know what I just did on my computer.
It's on the screen.
I
It's still
don't know
there.
what I did. I don't know what I did.
Just so you know, it's still on the screen. I don't know what the struggle is.
6 injured at the festival. So yes, this happens. Like,
Wow. I'm
high
impressed,
five to
Cody.
my husband on.
All right, Cody. I'm impressed.
Give me a high five. Not that we're high-fiving deaths, but
No,
that Cody knew.
but he.
There it is.
Hold on a second.
I read up on stuff.
It's a real. I can't. There's too many things for me to scroll through now. I got so many choices. It was a real. The more you know kind of situation.
Can we get to animated though? Like the stars? Like, can we listen?
You're gonna have to go to. If you want to animate, you got to go to MTT. I just plop an overlay on.
I do love it though. I do love it. So yeah. So and Rishi is saying, what's he saying? I can't remember writing.
Jen's just like, just be honest with me. Just, I told you, just be honest with me. She, she's just trying to get him to make some more moves, right? And then Jen asks, well, if your mom finds a match, are you going to go meet this person? And he's like, no, I don't have to, because at that point I can just tell my mom, no, I found somebody. I don't have to do that, right? I found my girl, and just tell them, right? So it's like, well, just do that, right? Just tell them. Just do it.
What Coco just said. Leave it to TLC. right? Like, listen, who knew that kites and toasters were so goddamn dangerous?
For reals.
Like,
Absolutely.
there we are. The more you know. That's like perfect timing. We're in my mind. Y'all say kites and toasters, and we're good. So, all right. So next scene. Now Rishi is, bringing Jen to his friend's house. So Jen can, observe on how
Yes.
to be a perfect Indian wife.
Properly trained.
Wife training, right? Which it was. I mean,
It was. And he pretty much said, yeah.
well, Rishi, is this wife training 101 home ec? Like, what do I do here? And it really was wife training 101 home ec. And like, listen, I think, probably Submit's mom teaches like the 400 level class. They're probably first with like, Rishi's friends, and like, if Jen wants to get like her master's in Indian, domesticity, right? Like, then like, I think that like, Submit's mom should be the one to like give it to her, because we all know. I want to see Submit, and I want to see Jenny and Jen. They're both named Jen. Oh, that's wrong.
They are indeed.
They're both named Jen.
Yep. And Submit and Rishi, you want to see them get together? I would love to see that meetup. That would be awesome.
But like, I think that like, when Jen completes all her like course criteria, like, learning how to cook, learning how to make tea, learning how to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, learning how to like dress properly, like that, like, it Submit's mom that like, graduates her, and
how to keep the veil thingy on your head that kept slipping off of everybody. That was driving me crazy. Oh my God. It kept flying away every time they turn and go, whoosh.
Yeah, how are you sweeping the floor with that thing on your head? I don't know. You got to pin it on there or something, but
it's very different. Like, Jen's like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that, and you see Jenny, like, she's not waking up at 4 a.m. and doing all this stuff.
No.
And
I don't think Submit's mom is either. She pays a maid. She has a maid. Yet she expects Jenny to perform all of these ridiculous tasks. It's not going to happen. And we hear here, Jen talking to Rishi, he liked me because I was an independent person. And now he wants me to be this good wife that is, not equal, I guess, to men. Yeah, she's like, no, like, I'm sure she'll make him some tea, but not at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't think he's lying to her. I think,
well, because he knew at some point that she was gonna have to meet the parents, and like,
that's true. That's true. But I don't think he really expects her to do this stuff. I think this is just, let's enjoy the culture. Yeah, let's experience it, so that, and not so much for him, but because he wants her to move into his mom's house. And so there she'll have specific responsibilities that they'll expect from her. It's not so much him.
So, Jen, well, I thought I was going to have my own apartment, with like, and we can invite your family over, and I'm with Jen on this one. And, listen, after we're married, like, I didn't know I had to move in with Rishi and like, his and have a joint family. And Jen's right. Hey, Pineapple.
Well, he seems like one of those people that doesn't like to tell the whole story because people might get mad. He doesn't want Jen to get loud or be mad at him, so he just doesn't tell stuff. It's like, she's still going to get mad at you. Just tell her up front. She can handle it. Oh, she did like the standing ladies, though. When all the ladies are standing in the kitchen, she's not allowed to come in.
at like the door, like almost like a spell was like cast on the door. Like there was like salt at at the door, like some like skeleton key type shit, where like there's like the salt at the door and like you can't enter. And Jen's like, well, come in here and translate. Like, I have no idea what these ladies are saying. Like, I don't know how to make this tea. And he's like, no, I can't. Like, there's more than one woman in this room, and you flock together. And she's like, oh, I like this. Hey, listen, when I'm mad at him, like, I could just come into a room with a bunch of ladies and he can't follow me.
As long as you're standing, we're good to go. Oh, it was good stuff.
It was a good scene.
Yeah, she's got 2 master's degrees. She's not gonna be somebody's maid.
But her reason for liking it was my favorite part, though. She said she was ticked at him, and she's glad that he couldn't come in the room because she was mad at him. That's what she said. So she now knows when I'm mad, I can just go into the ladies' room. And he can't follow me.
Well, that's like normal for everywhere. Like, really, like I'm not right. Like, I'm not going to laser like at the mall here and like it's just like it's like a mobile ladies' room that the people have there.
There's too many ladies standing in here. I'm not allowed in.
So I good for her. And I'm looking forward to what you put out there next week, Jen.
Oh yeah, the preview made it look like there's a wrench in the works. Dun, dun, dun.
And when isn't there on this show? So good for Jen. Are we good with her? Okay. We're like almost 40 minutes in, one couple. All right, so let me see. Let's do Danielle and Johan. They were quick.
Hello, Sheila.
They were pretty
Hey, Sheila. So basically, Danielle and Johan's story this week was that obviously from last week, she was upset that Johan wasn't 100 with her regarding the pregnancy that Johan's girlfriend, I guess, or whatever you want to call her, had. And she felt like he was being honest with her. He told her one thing and another thing came to light and blah, blah, blah. And she was very upset that it was the first time that she was in a DR and she had to sleep by herself. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like, I said a rosary for her. Like, I was like, oh my God, like this girl, like, is like, she was in need of my prayer. So I
don't know, man. To me, don't tell somebody that they're a toxic person if you want them to sleep next to you in bed. That's just me.
And also that same person who you promised you would take to the States and then you hoodwinked and said, oh no, I like it here now. And I like the beach. So
she claims she never said that, but I mean, what was your first episode about then?
I think we saw.
Be clear that like that's what you said, and that's why I got up into this. Like, what was that term for like the people that work at resorts? That like
Sanky Panky?
Sanky Pankies. Yes, he's a Sanky Panky. And there's an age difference, and I again, we have like this like fertility issue because Danielle's also of a certain age, right? Where
she's 42, I think. So she's got a small window.
I mean, like in your 40s, like listen, I'm not a woman. I don't have ovaries or eggs. But I know that like in your 40s, it makes it a lot harder for you to have a baby.
It can be. Yeah, it can be harder for sure.
I mean, like it can be, but like, it's not like in your 20s, you'd have a way better shot, or in your 30s.
Presumably. Yeah. No, I don't know how the statistics bear out. So, it depends on what you look at. Sometimes these old studies that bring up how hard it is in the 40s, these studies are from like so long ago that are they based on real and accurate information, or are we all just afraid of our ticking time clocks? I don't know. But she's had a child before. If you've had one before, it's generally easier to get pregnant a second time. So,
wait, Danielle has a kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Daughter. I don't know how old she is, but she
19 or 20.
Yeah.
Oh, did she say it on the show?
Yes. She did.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She just glanced. They glossed over it. The daughter's never part of it.
It may have been this part of this episode at the beginning when she was first talking. At one point, she does say that she does have a daughter.
Wow. Okay. News to me. Didn't know that. All right. So, okay.
So she slept alone today. Yeah. Oh, so Johan shows up with a flower.
Listen, these people with the flowers that they pick off the streets, you know, which we'll get to with Debbie and Osama. But yeah, you know, he came with a singular flower. And he explained to her that, listen, I wanted the baby. And she had told him that it
She
was a
miscarried.
miscarry, and then he found out months later that it was termination, and it hurt him because, you know, he really wanted a kid. And I kind of, you know, I understood that. Like,
Yeah.
I
I understood it last week without him saying it. You know? Like, she's getting way too mad about this. This isn't the kind of thing that is a lie. This might be a softening of the situation. I mean, I don't know, man, but
I think she's like a little unbearable, a lot unbearable, just unbearable, you know, because she comes there and like, we know that she promised him to go to the States. He thought he was going to New York City. He thought he, you know,
eventually, yeah.
You know, he said that his family always wants, you know, that was like the thing, like to get the kids to America and like whatever. And now that she's here and staying, which, you know, they're married now. So like, you know, if he says anything, he's, you know, Danielle's smart. Let me say something. She's smart.
She's smart.
She's a smart cookie. Because she knows she has him by the balls, because, you know, if he said no, like, I want to go there, this is what you promised, and then she would come back and say, like, well, you never loved me and you're using me, type of thing, right? Come on. That's how she's playing it. I'm sorry. I'm calling a spade on that one. Like, she has him like cornered, and now that she's there, she wants, you know, the butcher shop. And, you know, what did you think you were walking into? Like, you're not at a resort now, Danielle. Like, it's not.
Well, she had a really kind of a snarky story this week where she talked about this exact thing. You know, once she said she never really said that. Then she starts talking about how, you know, all the consulates for the Dominican Republic have been closed for the last 2 years. There's nowhere to do an interview at. So he always knew that, you know, we weren't going immediately to the DR. It wasn't going to happen. So there's the backlog, but there's also the fact that they're not even open to even interview anybody.
Like,
so
right now, still?
That's the way she made it sound.
I don't believe her.
I don't know. I'm not going to go.
Someone Google the Dominican
Google it.
consulate in Santo Domingo, probably is it, and let me know like what the issue. I don't believe her. I don't. I think that, and I like, you know, and she's a New Yorker, but I think that she's just. I'm on Johan's side on this one. She's the butcher shop, and yeah, it's gross. Listen, you walk into a butcher shop, you see the flies on the meat. And it, to anybody from here, like, I was like, oh my God, no, I would never buy that meat. But like there, that's normal.
And they're used to whatever bacteria gets in all that stuff.
You
and
know?
It kind of builds up their immune system.
Yeah.
That's how I see that. I mean, that's why we get sick when we go, we're not used to it. So
could be that. It could be the U.S. consulate in the DR. Whatever it was, there's no interviews going on, according to Danielle, for the last several years. So yeah, that's what she said, and she said it in a very snarky fashion. So she's,
you know, and he does
not
want
winning any
kids. And again, she's of a certain, and like, listen, like, well, Barbie just said, like, it's a 5% chance after your 40s. Like, you know, I don't know, but like, I have learned from doing these shows and I did Fiancé that you are born with a certain amount of eggs, right? And like every month you lose them.
Yep.
I thought they were replenished every month, but no. So and I don't have much information like in the I haven't been like in the egg category,
I mean,
whatever. Like,
it gets weirder and weirder the more you learn. Just
and again, like two dings for TLC because I'm actually learning stuff here, which is the whole point of TLC, the learning channel, so at least I'm learning a couple of things here. But I don't know. I don't like Danielle. I think she's unbearable.
This was, last week she looked terrible. She did not do a lot to make herself look better to here because we see Johan, he's really putting it out there. He's explaining his side of things. But before that, she started, saying, we need to fix this. That's what mature people do. Da 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 da. And he comes and the first thing he says is, "I want to fix things." That this is I care about my marriage and I want to fix this with you. And he explains himself very clearly. And after that, she's still like, Johan apologizes and all that stuff, but she's still like, he's immature. This is a mature adult relationship, and she's still not giving him credit.
She goes, but like, another thing with Danielle, which bothers me, is like, we're supposed to like, I'm not your novia. Like, I'm sorry, because I do know some Spanish, so my Spanglish is kicking in. Like, I'm not your girlfriend. Like, I'm your wife. But like, okay, but you married him. These people that jump into fucking marriage like this, like, and
where there's an
know
age
each
gap.
other.
And that's what she said. She said that too. She said, we're married, but I don't know you. So
why'd you marry him?
Yeah, exactly. You didn't have to. You didn't have to, especially if you were not going to file any paperwork and you were just trying to get things moving, because you didn't file any paperwork. So this was a choice, and it's not nice to call your partner immature. Like, what was she doing? She was the one that was name calling. He wasn't name calling. She was the one that was being immature in this relationship. Yes, she's articulate, but being articulate and mature are not the same thing. And she was the one being immature by calling him names, saying he was toxic, saying he was a liar.
Yeah, toxic is like a big word to use to somebody. Your husband?
Yeah, she almost got, I swear she was called a monster at one point.
Toxic, like, that's what would happen. Like, if Cody called me toxic, like, I'll show you what toxic is. Did that start yet, that show?
Brother Husband?
No,
yes.
I think it's on the 24th.
Okay, so yes, we're going to cover it. I promise. Yes.
I'm excited for
with MTT or with Addie? Who you doing it with? Can we get MTT? I'd be really excited about that. About watching.
It's all up in the air, right? But the 24th is Brother Husbands.
Okay,
I think so.
Or
Yeah.
toxic. 24th. I'm writing it down, Brother Husbands. Yeah, we'll be covering that, and then OC starting soon, which we'll also be covering.
Come on, MTT. Come on. She says, not her. Boo.
But it's Danielle in there in the DR, like just
26th. Mark that down instead. I was off by 2 days.
Just like trying to put her hands into everything, the butcher shop, the where he lives, how he makes money, the way he looks, and she's got a problem with every fucking thing.
Teeny tiny shots you give yourself every day, and what it does is says, hey, wake up, give me the
I can't
Okay, that was Maria that time.
I still can't scroll down.
That was Maria who played the Stephanie clip on that one.
Sorry.
Thank you. Wait, thank you, Wendy.
Oh, it's super
because I'm like, oh, it's Stephanie. Like, I didn't do that. So there you go.
It was me.
Oh, here we go. Wendy, there you go. I'll give you some horn on that one. All right. Okay. Cody gave you the extra horn on that one. But
so Brother Husbands is on the 26th. I was off by 2 days. I wouldn't be me if I didn't mess up a date.
No, you do better than me. I just make up stuff. You're just like, at least you bother to look it up.
sorry, Cody was smoking a cigarette. I wanted to drag, but I don't like smoking on camera.
You're a
At least for the
drag.
public shows. I'll smoke on camera on the private shows, but not the public ones. So sorry, I need a drag. But yeah, Danielle sucks. I'm sorry, I don't like her, and she's from Long Island, like where I'm from, and I don't like it. Yes, Pineapple, we're gonna have to do that on the after show. Listen, guys, get on the after shows. If you're not a member, you gotta be like middle tier and up. And oh, I have a good idea for like our top tier, which I'll discuss later because we're in the middle of the show. But we're late as we always are. But thank you, Nisi. All right, so Danielle sucks. I think that she's really like steamrolling Johan, and it's her way or the highway. And like leave, like, you know, but she wants to live the life. I love this life. I go to the beach and I do yoga.
I would love it too. I mean, I don't like the beach, but I would love it too.
I live a block away from the goddamn beach. Ask me how many times I've been to the beach since we lived here in 3 years. Ask me.
How many times have you been to the beach?
0.00 times. I mean,
That's not true.
No, we go to the boardwalk.
No, that's not true because we did a live from the beach.
Oh, there was like one time.
For a sunset.
0.01.
No, we went for a
0.01. Okay. Yeah, but that's okay. 0.02 times I've gone to the beach.
I come with facts. Okay?
But we don't go, like, I hate sand.
Yeah, no, we don't go.
So, like, it is what it is.
We
but,
have the pool that we go to at the.
Yeah, I'm like a pool guy. Like, ocean, like, and like, okay, I lived in South Florida. And once you're used to those beaches, going to the beaches up here in New Jersey, no matter how beautiful they are, they suck because the water's cold and you don't want to go in it.
It's like, ugh.
Oh, hey, Brooklyn. We'll see you tomorrow. So are we good with Danielle?
I am.
Yeah, I'm trying not to hate her because I don't know. I feel
like this is just her villain arc.
I feel like she married young. This is the last thing we'll say. She married a young guy.
I married a young guy.
But she's mothering him. But then she wants him to be an adult in the relationship where she's mothering him. Because that's what I felt. Even though I was like, yeah, I'm not so keen on the fact that there's some fibbing going on. And I understand why he was doing it. But if you've been fibbed to, you know, that's an issue for some people. But with this, I just think that's what I think. I think she married young. Now all of a sudden she's gonna have to she's mothering him. It's ridiculous. That's
she doesn't need to though. I don't know why treat him like an equal and make him rise to the occasion.
Let him make his mistakes and then make it a learning experience, but don't belittle him by saying you're being immature. He's immature because he's young. Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, Brooklyn, we may have a special guest on our Housewives Live tomorrow. Just saying. I don't know what's going to happen. Don't. Wait,
you were too slow.
Pineapple. There you go. Thank you, Pineapple. But yeah, like once, Cody's from Florida, right? I lived in Florida on and off like 10 years, like in Fort Lauderdale, and you can walk in that water at all times. It's beautiful and warm. Like here, I can't go in the water here. Like it's just always cold and miserable and seaweedy and like gross. You can't see your feet. Like the water's green.
I don't put my feet down if I can't see the bottom.
Well, don't come to Jersey. That's why we don't. Like we go to the boardwalk. We're on the boardwalk almost every day. But like, that's not the sand. Where's the beach? Cody. Speaking of Jersey Shore, Sammy's sweetheart is rejoining Jersey Shore. Guys, like if we did Jersey Shore, like would you watch? Because I wouldn't mind talking about that show. Let me know in the chat.
Oh, because I had to watch it for
I would
7
have
hours the other
We
night.
did. We were in New York and at the hotel, and like they had like a Jersey Shore marathon on, like the original Jersey Shore, like not like the family vacation.
It's like
and
the first and
we
second
watched
season.
it for like 7 straight hours. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot how good this show used to be.
I'm like, John, it's 6 o'clock. We gotta go to bed. He's like, no, there's like 8 more episodes. I'm like, okay, enjoy.
And then we had to go to a funeral and a wake. But whatever. All right, so let's go. All right, let's move on because we're an hour in and we've done 2 couples.
Yeah, but like the next one's going to take like 2 minutes, right? If we do Debbie and Osama.
All right, let's do Debbie and Osama. Let's do
She's
that.
on a plane. She landed in Morocco.
And she's happy, and they greet each other. And Osama says that Debbie is the sun, and like he sees nothing else but her, and
Beautiful.
they're happy, and we're good.
What happens when you're wearing a very yellow flowing thing that flies in the wind as you walk out the
On her
door?
yellow dress, Addie. Sure, okay, that's exactly
But you know, he's her strange beautiful, and the other way around. They're both each other's strange beautiful. It was lovely.
Did one part? Did you? There was the one part that he said that kind of made me kind of wince a little bit. He said, she's here." Wince.
No, I know it wince. You don't hear wince often, so if you wince, I want to know like all the details about your wincing.
Me too. Why'd you wince?
When he said she's here,
You're like,
oh, she's here to save me. I went, oh, what does that mean? Remember, he's mad. There's a madness in him. He says it and she says it. I think we're gonna find out some woohoo. I can't wait to see how this goes with him.
Elizabeth W. Wait. I'll die on a hill for Debbie. Listen.
Me too. I finally found her. I found her Instagram, and she follows me back, and she liked one of my pictures. I was like, oh, so
Good. You follow her and you let me know. You keep me abreast of what's going on. Like I can't, like I'm not even, I think I'm following Jamie, Isabelle, Rishi, of course, Jen. Oh, I'm going to follow Jen, of course.
following everybody except
Yes. I looked and to see who I can follow, and I've gotten a couple of them so far.
I've got everybody except Osama. That's the only one I can't find.
Oh, I need it. Oh, I can't wait till we get to Gabe.
Gabe's last.
Yes.
He's the anchor on this one. Because that's where the most that was the bread and butter of this episode. Right. So we got Jen and Rishi's done. Oh God.
Chris and Jamie.
No, I was looking. Can I do it in order? All right. So Debbie and Osama are done. Let me see. Danielle and Johan are done. Gabe, Isabelle, Nicole, Mahmoud. Ooh.
That was a rough one.
All right. So what do you want to do? Nicole or Kris and Jamie?
Who was more annoying?
Let's do Nicole. Hey, Addie said it. Who's most annoying? So I said Nicole. Oh, can you give me like my bob wig, my blonde bob wig, please?
Ooh, you have a blonde bob?
I don't know, maybe. Okay, so it's day 4. Nicole wants to hang herself still. Mahmoud does not want anything to do with her still. I mean, they're just these two newlyweds, so much in love with each other. Like, you know, it's like the Capulets and the Montagues, like just like a love for the ages that I don't know. It really, you know, Nicole and Mahmoud's it inspires me. It makes me want to be a better human being and make me want to love more. To be honest.
Be careful, your nose is gonna touch the sun.
It's a love story for all the ages.
Oh, this was so painful.
It was so hard. I felt so bad for both of them.
With them is painful, but you know,
Honey.
yes, my love.
Can you help me light the stove?
Yes, my love.
I showed you 30 times how to do it.
No, it's yes, my love. He says it in a really annoyed, like he's annoyed all the time. I have a feeling he is annoyed all the time.
Doesn't don't they live in like a group setting, like with Rishi's parents? Like, don't they all live together? Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's
like Mahmoud's family in that same apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So then, why was Nicole saying like when Mahmoud's at work, like I'm here by myself alone?
She said, I'm here by myself except for his mom. So his mom is there, but that doesn't, I don't know how well they can communicate with each other. So
Not well at all.
So it's still alone, really. I mean, if
Yeah.
you really think it, language barriers.
And then Nicole says that she converted to Islam, which I don't know. I don't take like that one sentence as like you being fully converted into another religion. I don't think anybody Islamic would appreciate her saying that she's Muslim.
Yeah,
I would be offended if somebody said that. Like if that was my religion, like I'm a Catholic and I'm a very strong Catholic and I feel very strongly about my religion. And if somebody had said to me, well, I spoke to God and I said, I'm a Catholic and I'm a Catholic, I'd be like, no, you're not a Catholic. You're not. We're your sacraments. Like we're like, But in Nicole's eyes, she said a sentence to an imam at a wedding. They had a crash for no apparent reason because, according to Nicole, Mahmoud did not want her to convert, but they just decided at the last minute to crash someone's wedding to talk.
For me, it's a little. I read it a little differently. I think that he made it. There's this idea that men are leading you through your spiritual journey in some religions, and this looks like one of them. And so that was his job, and he has talked her to this point where it's like, if you just say this, if you just believe these things, then yes, you can say that, just like if you're a born again Christian, like you're saying Catholic, you need all those sacraments. Born again Christians don't need all those sacraments. They just need to accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. It is the same kind of a thing. You are accepting that, Allah and Muhammad, you're accepting those things. And that was all she had to do to be, introduced as you're a brand new, Muslim. But, and for Mahmoud, he saw, okay, great. She's going to be my faith now. So now she's going to pray with me. She's going to do all of these things. And she promised me. You heard him say that over and over this episode. You promised you would do these things. You promised. And she's like, I didn't know what I was promising, and it's not good enough for him.
Well, what's that say? He said to her, like, you do these things, and she promised him that she would. And then she made a promise on something that she didn't, according to her, didn't know anything about. So who's in the wrong here? I have to put it on Nicole.
I don't think either one is in the wrong, personally.
I think Nicole.
I think she was trying to. Okay, so as a person who has done it, I've changed religions and not known what the heck I changed my religion to, or I did it for my husband that I know, from one to the other. And I do think that in her mind, she was doing it. Oops.
You were saying good stuff, Addie.
God just smited you, Addie. God just smote you.
Addie has the floor. Boom. What's going on?
See that?
Oh,
See what happened?
man.
God. Oh my God. Now she's gone.
It's just like me last week, right? There's still time. I'll probably crash at some point too.
I'm surprised. We have the Nor'easter here. Like, I'm surprised I have not fallen off. But I get Nicole. Like, I don't want to be like so like black and white about. I get Nicole was like. I guess she was in love with him, and she probably said, "Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do that." Because she, when you're in love, you say things, and like not knowing the whole story. I don't want to make it seem like I'm like that Nicole's a total asshole. But she was in Egypt. She did marry him. They did have to crash a wedding. She lasted a month, and then she had to go home.
And, yeah, I think it was 2 months, but yeah, it wasn't very long.
So that was her first lesson, right? So her going back to Cairo, what did she think was going to happen?
I mean, it sounds like, this is kind of their last ditch effort to try to save their relationship. I think they both, at least through, phone calls and video calls, have both kind of put their boundaries in, and also are trying to be more flexible, and seeing if it'll work. And it's hard, because I do see a little bit of flexibility on his part, but then I also see him yanking it right back, right? When they talk about the hijab, which I guess is how they say it in Egypt.
Yes.
She's like, I'm never going to put anything back in my head. He's like, you will. You know what I mean? Like, basically, I know better than you, you dumb girl. You're going to wear it eventually. How giving is he really being? It's condescending the way that he's approaching it.
But has anybody seen one iota of chemistry between them? Like, has anybody seen them together? I'm like, you know what? They're a cute couple, or they like each other. I see them on the screen, and I'm like, they hate each other. Like, there's no chemistry there at all.
It's different because we're not looking at them at the beginning of their relationship.
But no, Maria, come on.
They've already broken up.
Play devil's advocate here, but come on. There's no chemistry there. 0.000. Okay, I went to the beach 0.02 times. Okay, there is 0.0000000 chemistry here.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, we're not looking at a brand new, fresh relationship. We're looking at a broken relationship that is probably not going to work out, but they're trying one last time. And not only that, we're looking at that religious part of it, right? We're in a Muslim country where outward displays of affection are maybe not think that's her
issue. It's not Nicole and Azan here. That was Nicole's issue. I can't kiss you in the street. No, that's not that issue here. The PDA thing is not an issue here. It's they can't stand each other. I have no idea why she came back. Well, I do, because I think she wanted to be on the TV.
I don't like that, man.
I do.
I think she wanted to give it one more go. I just do.
I don't. I mean, look at her crying in tears in the bathroom. I'm already homesick. I don't know what I did. And look at what, the conversation tonight. I'm never going to wear the hijab. I'm never going to and this bullshit with the, making the fashion line for.
I was excited for about 5 seconds, and then it instantly turned to garbage. The whole relationship turned to crap in the middle of that conversation.
The whole relationship was crap the entire time she's been there. Come on, Maria.
But didn't you see a glimmer of hope?
No, never. I've never seen a glimmer of hope. Never. Nope.
When they started talking about having a modest fashion line and doing it together.
And then what happened? The t-shirt conversation happened. Well, I had a t-shirt on in LA. And I didn't know you were wearing a t-shirt. Come on.
Yeah, you didn't tell me that. I didn't see that. Yeah.
Addie's
back though.
Addie, God just smote you. Are you feeling better? And can you? How does it feel being smited by God?
It worked very well, because I don't remember what I was saying. So, there you go.
You were talking about converting religions for somebody else and not knowing what you were getting into.
Oh, yes. Or understanding what it was until years later. Oh, okay. But I kind of think that's what she's doing. She's doing that whole thing. She's trying to do it for him and to please him, which is what I did for mine.
I don't think she's doing that. I think she went back there saying, listen, bitch, I'm going to not wear the hijab. I'm going to wear my clothing how I want to wear it. And it's my way or the highway. That's her, and listen.
I mean, the conversion thing, when she took wasn't the sacraments. That's you. No.
God smoted you real good.
I don't know exactly what you call it.
Whatever she did or whatever, that part, I mean, she did that because she said she wanted her kids to have the same religion as the husband. So that part I accept. But yes, she also said, I still want to do what I want to do. And I'm going to tell you where we need to go and how we need to do stuff and whatever. And she's finding out, I think she's going to find out quick that what she wants isn't going to work there. It will never work. She can't go to a country and change an entire country, which might be a little bit of what she's thinking. So
yeah, and because that country seems to be so extreme, and she can't really leave the house by herself, and she's trapped in the house. She can't even really eke out, a little comfort zone for herself. It's not going to exist, and it's unfortunate, but yeah, we heard Mahmoud said several times this episode, "I can't make you happy. This isn't going to work."
He's right.
No, I think he's right too. I think he was seeing just what she was expecting, and that he cannot deliver it. He can't do it. Even if he wanted to, he can't. It's hard. I don't know.
I can't even see them. I can't envision them having sex. I see them as brother and sister. I don't see any I see no goddamn chemistry. Zero. Go ahead. Thank you, Wendy. But does anybody see? Could you picture them in bed together, getting it on? I can't. They're such a mismatched couple in every fucking.
They're just too bony for me, but.
Could you see Mahmoud throwing her against in a fun way, because listen, I have to get rough when we're having fun,
That's right.
Can you see them having sex, even
no
missionary or any I can't see it.
Mm-mm.
I can swing missionary. I can at least some smooching. I can imagine some smooching.
You
haven't even seen them kiss, though. I mean, that's what I find weird.
Exactly.
Holding hands, really? Well, maybe they held hands in the streets. I don't know what they did, but
they did do that. There was a little bit of hand holding, but I've not seen one kiss on a cheek.
Lord, hand holding, that's third base.
But he also probably felt weird doing it, because I think public displays would probably be odd there too for them, like it is for other places.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can't. I would say, I'll make a bet that they never even had sex.
How are we going to verify that bet?
I don't think that Mahmoud has ever broke her plane, so to speak.
I think I don't think there's
no touchdown, no nothing. I don't see it.
They broke the plane on their wedding day.
Listen. I don't think so.
I never even thought about it with them. That's how bad I don't think they did it.
They're so mismatched for each other. It's horrible.
No, I think this was a complete storyline. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't buy it either. I don't. So I guess, all right. So, and then, Mahmoud tells her that he wants her to leave. They're not going to work out together. So the next scene, which is annoying because Nicole is packing her bag, right? And it's well, you told me to leave, which it was a fight. So Nicole was being extra with
and that wasn't exactly what he said either. He was.
And Nicole was super extra with that.
You might as well move out, is what or something to that effect. They're you might as well go, or something. What I don't remember the exact words, but I know that's how. Sadly, I probably would do it too. I would probably. I would be that extra.
That was the way she was too. She was well, that's what you told me to. Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
She's very
literal.
She's
so
very literal.
When someone says go to hell, oh, let me get my, okay, you said go to hell. Well, let me get my bag out and I'm going to start packing. I'm going to hell. I'm leaving you. She's
literal.
Any reason to get out because she's miserable. She said she's homesick. She wants to leave. Why are we watching them? I dreamt last night of a weird blonde lady with this bob, and I was ugh. And she was coming after me, and I think it was Nicole. I don't know, but I don't think she's ever been intimate with Mahmoud. I don't at all. I don't. And there's that ongoing thing about Mahmoud, right? That he's like a little, but we don't know.
I mean, he could be that, and she could be just very she doesn't seem like she's really into it. I don't know yet. We don't know. I don't know. If I ever see him kiss, then I'll go, okay, maybe.
You won't, because
I don't have I have a different feeling about her than most people do, because like I've said, I
believe that Danielle and Johan, like, they fucked. Like, I know they have. Like, not that I know.
I'm sure a lot.
You can see that kind of chemistry they have. For sure.
And he was what, a Sammy Yammy? What was it?
Sanky Panky.
Sanky
Panky. I'm sorry, but there is no way in heck they didn't. Look at him.
They fuck like bunnies at the resort. Like, come on. I know that's,
I climbed the tree. That's all I got to say. I would climb that tree.
I would climb the tree. But I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
Yes.
But I don't think. I'm not sure if, like, Cody, come here. I need a visual. Come here, Cody. Come here. Because it's like, we are discussing the learning channel, so I want you guys to learn on this live. So, like, I doubt. Come here, Cody.
Oh no,
come here. I need your. Come here. What? I'm right here. Come here. So, like,
no. I'm not. No, come here. I'm not being a part of this.
Come here. I promise you, I'm on live. It's not gonna be like gross. Come here. Can you just get on the screen? We're here. What? No, get here. Come here. Okay. No. Like, can you put that
He
on?
was afraid. Like,
why did you go?
That's Mahmoud. Like with Nicole, like, which was my point. But I doubt that, like, Mahmoud was even like this. Like, can you put your arm like this? I doubt that he even got this. I don't even know if Mahmoud even got like a good piece on that one. I don't know. Like,
you couldn't have just put like that.
Well, I had to grab a breast, so, and which it was more breast that Mahmoud's ever grabbed, probably. I'm sorry.
He even said, during that fight, he said, "I don't think that you even love me anymore." He did say that to her. Like, she's asking so much, and for him, the idea that she wouldn't wear, the hijab, like, or that she's asking for more than that. He said that was a big deal to me. Her not wearing a hijab, agreeing to not make a big deal about that was a big deal to me. Don't ask for anything else, but she keeps asking for more and more and more and more. And, he's like, I don't think that you love me anymore. And, she's like, man, this was a pretty big gesture, me coming all the way here. But
okay, let's talk about that gesture.
Real quick question before the gesture. Would we like to open the chat?
Yeah, open it.
Okay.
Thank you, Addie. My team is amazing. I love my team.
Go back to your
I love my team.
The gesture. So you don't think this gesture was as big of a gesture as
obviously it's a gesture for someone to, like, I would play that card too. I think anybody would. Right? But I think she's playing that card because she knew she had that card to play. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Like, she has the flexibility in her life to do that?
Nope. Like, I don't know how to put this into the right wording. That, obviously it's a lot to give up your home and move from LA to Egypt, but like, I felt like she had that card up her sleeve to use it against him when he said, well, you don't love me. Yeah, you don't wear the hijab. You don't wear modest clothing. And that's her argument. Well, I moved. I did this.
I see what you're saying.
But if you move there and you do this like you're doing it because you want to make it work, and then you're gonna want to wear the hijab at some point, and like wear the modest clothing, and like, but I don't know how to word this the right way, but I think she's using that card like, well, I moved. It was a grand gesture to get her. It's like a get out of jail free card. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. No, I do. Yeah. Now I understand. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's going to keep playing it over and over and over again, for everything that she wants. Oh,
but what is she, she gave up, she did all that stuff, but what does she want him to do for her? That's what kind of where I'm at with that. Like, she wants him to let her be her. That's what she thinks she should get out of it. And
if she was here in America, sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Dress the way you want to dress. I mean, some husbands still would be bothered, but not that don't marry that kind of husband.
They probably would feel like they don't have the right to being in America, like tell that, you know what I mean? But you're in my country. I need you to do what I need you to do so we don't get stoned to death or anything like that.
Exactly. What you're asking is unsafe for you. Yeah.
Yes.
But it is too much. What he asks is too much. Being locked up in a house with his mother all day long. The only people he can interact with are his family. Nobody's going to be happy living in a pumpkin shell. It's impossible. You can't keep your wife like that and expect her to be happy. So what he's asking is impossible, and what she's asking is impossible. So it's not going to work, man. It's just they're torturing each other at this point, because it's not even that they won't bend, it's that they can't bend, to me. Like, she cannot give up everything about herself for this man. She can't. She can't. And he can't give up all of these things that are part of his culture. He can't. I think we see him try a little bit, and it's blowing up in his face. Even the slightest bit of attempting to, it's just not going to work. It can't work.
She doesn't want to give up anything about herself. Like, she wants to move to Egypt and be like the same LA girl she was, pretty much.
I would too. I can't change who I am either, but I wouldn't
move to Egypt then.
I wouldn't.
That's what makes you a better human being. Like, that's it.
Yeah. No, they're torturing each other.
Sorry, we have to give Hope his medication. Sorry, hold on.
Yay, hope he's getting medication.
Oh, yes. He's not happy. He's not happy about it. It's like like a syringe down his throat, like every 6 hours. Ugh, my little baby. The thing with Hope is like, people don't understand about Hope, our cat, is that like go ahead.
Okay, I'll do it quick.
Thank you, Mari. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
With Hope, like, we, when we got Hope, it was an accident. He was 10 days old. His mom, like, abandoned him on our doorstep, and we bottle fed him. So Hope is like the closest to like a baby that like we'll ever have. So when he's like the closest to our hearts. He's our little boy that we bottle fed. So, but going back to Nicole, I don't think she wants to give up anything. And her going to Egypt again, this move, like it's bullshit. I think it's just for her to be on the show. I honestly think that.
I'm trying to show a meme that was sent to me by one of our chatters. I'll just show it on my phone since I'm not that quick, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know if we can see it. Oh, I may have to try to. Oh, it's so.
I'll put you on full screen. Hold on.
Let me see if I can turn off my light. Maybe that'll help. That didn't help a ding thing. Let's see what. Oh, can we see it? Oh my goodness, it's not working. It's so blurry. Okay.
Well, I'm sure it's super creative.
It's a meme that shows, it says wedding crashers at the top, and he's got what is it? It looks like Perrier, and she's got the garter on her finger. It's cute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But what I'll do is I'll post it on our Instagram. It's very cute. Thank you. Elizabeth sent it to us. Thank you, Elizabeth.
All right.
And my camera stinks, so can't see a thing.
There we are. It's fine. We're good. All right. So are we good with Nicole and Mahmoud?
I am.
All right. Moving on. So all right. Let's do Jamie and Kris.
Okay.
Poor Jamie.
Poor Jamie. Yeah. It's day 3.
Day 3. So in the first 3 days that Jamie and Kris have been together in Bogota, Jamie learns that Kris needs a very important surgery that will disable her for like almost a year. That she likes knives and guns, that she's just crazy. And
Just kung fu in her sleep and
narcolepsy, Jamie needs like some type of the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know what Jamie needs, like an award of some sort, because Jamie, I feel so bad for this woman. I honestly do. I love Jamie. I mean, I've spoken to her. Imagine like this woman that you're in love with. She comes down and they weren't like honest. Well, Kris wasn't honest with Jamie about like the neck surgery, like and her affection for guns and knives. And it's insane. So 3 days in, and they're furniture shopping, and guess what? What happens, Maria, when they're furniture shopping? Are they good? Do they agree on like the same couch?
Oh, I mean, they have different taste. I'm sure they could find something they both agree on, but they have, yeah. I mean, Kris she likes bright colors, and Jamie, she's a little bit more modern, which is it's okay.
And lamps.
And lamps. I don't know why we'd be mad about lamps, but okay, she likes lamps.
But did you see the lamp?
The lamp's cool.
I actually kind of loved it.
Like that chandelier, like with all those
I
colors.
did too. I was like, okay, well.
I did too.
Yeah, it was rad. I don't know. I wasn't mad at it. But then Kris is, like, hey, I need to talk to you about something. I just got some court papers about my stolen, very rare motorcycle.
Does it make sense? Let's talk about this. Okay, so Jamie had like a Harley that was stolen from her, I guess, house or whatever, that her father gave to her, that she was going to use as money for her to live in Colombia with Jamie, that she thought was around $50K. And this motorcycle was stolen from Jamie, and now there is court for it, and there's so many. And I've been in law for a while. I was a court reporter, I was a paralegal. Like I know a little bit about law. I'm not gonna say I know everything, but I'm no lawyer. I'm no Emily Baker. But like a lot of things that she said did not make sense. Go ahead, Maria.
Well, this is a criminal case, so it's not even like she's going to get her money back at this point. This is just criminal. She just wants this dude to pay for stealing her dad's motorcycle.
But that doesn't make sense. If it's a criminal case, okay, here's how this shit works. And I think most people know this. If it's a criminal case, the prosecutor, it will be like the state of Alabama versus like the asshole, right? Like the state Alabama versus like whoever stole Jamie's bike. I don't know the guy's name or whatever. So that's criminal. So in that court case, it's going to be them trying to put that guy in jail. In that, it's not going to work where like a civil lawsuit where she's suing him,
right,
for the money, because that's a different lawsuit.
Correct.
Yes. She said that she wanted to go back there to put him to make him pay for what he did. So her intentions are to not to criminally charge him to get him in jail. That's what she had said.
And she could Zoom.
Yes.
And like, probably next week we'll see that she probably can. Like, this makes no sense in my head as someone who's worked in law. I don't know. I 20 years I've been in law. And I'm not the all, I'm not like this law guy. I'm no Emily Baker, but like I know some stuff. And like her saying she was served, you don't get served.
No,
you don't.
I don't think
that
she's
doesn't
using
happen.
the terms.
Right. I'm sure she got summoned, maybe would be more accurate. Her
Or
mom
maybe
received
a
the summons.
But
to appear.
If you're working with like the DA,
I don't know. I bet she thought, because it's a thing that happened to her. It's not like she witnessed it more than likely. What was she going to have to add to it necessarily? Did she need to be
she should
there?
have no part of that, honestly. Like the prosecutor gets the information, and that's the prosecutor's job. They don't, maybe the prosecutor might want Jamie on the stand, but like, what's Jamie going to say? Like, okay, that was my bike and it was stolen. Like, she doesn't know you don't call a witness like that. Like,
unless there's something that she's proving that they needed to tie a loose end with, but who knows? That's probably why she didn't think she had to go. That's what she said. I didn't think I needed to be there for this. It
does not make any sense in my head. Like, and I've been a court reporter. I've been in my share of court trials. Like, and I've written briefs as a paralegal, and like, this does not happen ever.
See, to me, this doesn't sound weird at all. I don't know.
It's very weird, Maria.
I mean, she's saying it's a $50,000 motorcycle.
But that's something that you would do in a civil case, unless maybe the prosecutor is going to want,
but it's a felony,
the defendant to pay like restitution.
No, it's a felony, and she wants him to go to jail for it. So,
but that's not going to get her money back.
She's probably not going to get her money back anyway, because this dude's a thief, right? He probably doesn't have a stream of income to pay her back. So she knows that. So the only justice she can get is through the criminal system, in my mind. That's why she's going this way. I now live in the South. People steal like crazy down here. I've just never experienced just anything. Just we had stuff stolen here from our house while it was being built, and we had cameras. So we caught them on camera. We gave them to the police. The police at first were like, yeah, this isn't enough for us to bother with. But then we finally got them to do it. And, they arrested the guy, everything. We got all that to happen. Is anything going to ultimately happen? Probably not.
Yes. And you probably, most likely the person who, like John is right about she wouldn't show up in court.
Annie, you know better than anybody. Annie, tell us about like this stuff. Law and crime girl. Tell us like this, because you know more than probably me. Like, obviously. So like,
she could be like, she wouldn't have to show up. She could have it completely handled by her lawyers. But I also think that there's something that came out, which I should have looked it up before we came, but there was something about the bike that it is not as much as she's saying it is, or something like that came up.
Yeah, they're saying it's not as rare as she says it is.
Yes. So I think that's all something that we're learning now outside of the show and everything. But I think personally what all her lawyers have to do is handle it. Now, they can handle it for her, but she may have to be there for certain aspects of the trial, but not in trial. I mean, she could.
But when you get served,
but if she's a witness,
nobody wants to get served.
Right. Yeah, she's not served. No, I think the words are
served. Like that. That's like bad. If you get served, like it's different.
She's just not a law person and doesn't know what she's saying.
No, exactly. I think she fucked up and said I think she got served for something else. Is what I think.
Why do you think that?
Because when you say you got served, you got served. I've got served. It's not fun.
I don't know why. Yeah, to me, she wasn't the one that it happened, right? It went to her mom's house, so her mom could have communicated it poorly to her. She could have been summoned. She could have been subpoenaed.
It's a criminal trial. Like, Addie,
So
how does it work in criminal trials? Like, okay, so
like if you have the prosecution side on a case, I deal with a lot of like deaths and stuff like that. So you have the family and stuff, but usually unless family members are going to testify and stuff, they don't normally have to be in the courtroom for it. They can just, nowadays you can watch it on a webinar, but so I think that there's some, if John, what you think, maybe that's what, you're seeing something else. But I think this is probably not really as big as it's a storyline. And I don't think they properly she properly stated what was stated to her if her mom was even in this. It just doesn't sound like she said the right words for what would happen. A civil case is completely different than
and if she's never had to deal with either one of those, she might not know the right words. So
right. So I mean, families and stuff do show up. You got them on both sides. They could be there in court, but for a bike and stuff like that, I don't really see. I see a lawyer taking care of it and saying this is what happened or whatever. You can come if you want to, or you don't have to.
Pamela, you're new. Welcome. I thank you for being here.
Yay.
Welcome. But like, I don't believe it. Like,
I think we're going to find stuff out about this whole bike situation because there's some stuff that has come out about it, and I kind of want to look into that a little bit more. I meant to do that, but that didn't happen. But I think So
and Addie, okay, she could not do it Zoom. Like, she couldn't tell like the courts, like, hey, listen, I'm in like Colombia, and in this day and age with like COVID and like remote stuff going on.
She most likely wouldn't even be able to leave the country. So, or I don't know when what year this was filmed in, but I bet you it was pretty close to where you didn't do as much traveling as that kind of. But everybody does Zoom now. Even now after all this, they're doing hearings and stuff by Zoom. So absolutely,
it's probably what's going to happen, right? But right now,
a smaller case. This is not like it's the biggest case in the whole planet where it's Murdoch or anything like that. But it's a bike situation. It's a thing. But it's just not. I think absolutely this is definitely storyline for this whole because if you listen to what Jamie said, they don't know what they didn't check what she was saying.
And like the prosecutor is not going to serve you. Like you're on the prosecutor's side. Like the prosecutor is not going to, Addie, right or wrong?
Yes, serving is when you're served. That means you have to, if you don't accept, you can actually not touch the papers and go, I didn't get served. I didn't touch. And I didn't open it. I have no idea. I think you can still do that kind of thing.
But all of this is being filtered through her mother, right? And her mother maybe not be communicating it effectively to her.
She's blaming it on the mother. I don't believe.
I'm blaming it, not her. I am.
I just don't think she knew what she was saying.
Anything that's coming out of someone's. I don't. Because I've worked in that business. Addie, that's her life. Like, and both of us are saying like, it's bullshit.
Yes, being served is not. It was the wrong wording, and they should have catched that and said, no, wait, let's call this or whatever. Here's your paperwork or whatever. She probably received a phone call. The mom received the phone call. Her mom was like, oh God, you got to go to court. And it probably freaked her out if we're going to go that way and think that. And then so she got these words from her mother and then she just said it. But I just think this whole storyline is for Jamie to be upset because she already left once or she already had the ghosting thing or whatever it was.
She's been ghosted.
So she's ghosted by her. So this whole storyline was trying to fit that. But the issue is that they didn't research for the storyline well enough and use the proper words. So.
Well, let's look at the ghosting. So it was Jamie's birthday and Kris, I guess, decided like that she had cold feet and ghosted on her birthday and for a month afterwards, right? And I guess in that time, Jamie might have been with somebody else, right?
I think so. I think that might have been one of the times when she started communicating with somebody else in DMs and
Because
stuff.
Jamie says, well, I forgave her when she like stepped out. But if it's like Ross and Rachel, we were on a break. Like, well, what is it?
Yeah.
If if Jamie ghosted, if Kris ghosted Jamie, and I was Jamie, and I didn't hear from her for a month, and she didn't even say happy birthday to me on my birthday. I'm like, well, she's like
Frozen.
done, and I would probably move on.
I'll be back. I'm frozen.
You're
So-
frozen.
While she's frozen, I want to here's the difference between served and summoned. If you sue someone, so she's bringing the lawsuit against this guy because he stole the bike. So he is then served.
But it's not a lawsuit though. It's a criminal, Addie. From what Kris said, like it's a legal, criminal proceeding, which is different from a civil lawsuit.
Right. So that's what was confusing to me when I was listening to it. I wasn't sure what she was trying to say, because she says she wants to go get him. She wants him to go to jail and pay for what he's done. But I never felt like the words she was saying lit towards what she was trying to say she wanted to do to him. So I bet the case itself isn't even as big as she's saying it is. You know what I mean? So
I don't think so either.
I think that they know who this guy is. He stole the bike, and she's going to go after him because she still wants her money back. So I personally think that it may not end up being a criminal case because she's doing it differently. She's not using the right words, so what she's saying doesn't match what she wants to do. And I have an issue with it. I do have an issue.
Why would they need her there? Like, if Jamie in a criminal proceeding, right? Like, if Kris couldn't make it there, like, wouldn't the trials, like, I don't understand why they would need Kris to appear in court. According to Kris, listen, the garage, the bike was in my garage, and then it wasn't in my garage. Why do they need her there in court? Tell me. Tell me.
There, we don't know. We'd have to go and find out. There could be some reasons.
What testimony is she going to provide that to turn the jury? Oh yeah, like this man stole a motorcycle from Kris's house in Alabama, right? And then he took it, and now he's caught. What testimony could Kris give? Listen, I was sitting in my chair watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey, and then I went to sleep. And then the next morning, I decided, hey, let's take the bike out for a ride. And I went into my garage, and the bike wasn't there.
Yeah, but it could be something. But she doesn't, to my knowledge, drive that bike, right? So it could be that, how did he know the bike was there? Oh, she had showed him and a couple of other people, a week before she had shown them the bike. So we have to establish that. I mean, it could be any number of things. I with the ones where they stole from me, like, we know exactly who stole it because remember we lived in the RV park? They lived in the RV 2 RVs over and somehow stole from our actual house that was being built. So we have footage of them at the RV park and in our house. So
they had been staking you out. They probably followed you to where you were going.
Maybe, but we got footage of, because he had a tattoo and we're like, okay, so I got a camera coming through my RV pointed at them. Look, there's the tattoo. There's his shoes. There's the truck. Like we there's all kinds of ways to do it.
I just, yeah.
What do I got to read?
And the other thing is, like, she's in pain, right? So they go to the flea market, right, to get, like, more furniture that they'll fight over because they hate each other. And and then, like, Kris is sitting in the cab in the back seat, like, crying in pain, which sucks. I don't want to see anybody in pain. And they go back. you know, Jamie calls the doctor. Doctors don't do house calls. Do doctors do house calls anymore? Like ever?
No, there they might.
When I was a kid, like doctors made house calls. Like, I remember I was very
He was
sick.
probably on a bike.
And the doctor came to
Or a
my
moped.
grandmother's house, and like he was like, "What is like this little black bag?" He's like, "Do do 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 do." But Jamie is saying like that. Not Jamie, Kris is saying the pain from like the airplane, and like the rough roads is like causing her neck to hurt. But now she's willing to fly back to Alabama.
I know.
And that long flight, and then go to court, and then fly back a day later. And that's not gonna fuck up her fucking neck and everything. I'm sorry. There's no way you can defend that. Like, she's in so much pain. She can't, the poor woman can't even go to the goddamn flea market. She's in so much pain. But yet,
I think that's the issue from Jamie's standpoint is there's no way she's going to get back on an airplane to come back to me if she goes back to Alabama. Look at, she's already struggling from that
it's
trip.
bullshit. Like, so, and what Kris is saying to Jamie, well, with a double negative, there's no way I can't not put him in jail, right? And then she like, jail for what? Like, so she's gonna fly to Alabama for a criminal trial to put him in jail with not a civil trial where you could sue and get the money back. Even if you did sue and get the money back and won, it'd be a judgment that you're not gonna get the money back on anyways. Even if like in the criminal trial, which in the criminal trial, they may ask the guy to pay restitution for the bike, which if the guy don't have the money, obviously he stole the goddamn bike. So if he's already doesn't have the money to begin with, but
She didn't say if the property was if she ever had you know what I mean? She didn't say, so I have no idea.
You're gonna put yourself at risk and your back and your neck and your soulmate that you just met, all that to fly another 24 hours back to Alabama, or I don't know how long it was, 18, I don't know, and then fly back and all that shit just to put him in jail when the prosecutor doesn't need you. If the prosecutor has all the facts of the case, they don't need her. Addie, right or wrong?
No, that's right. Yes, they would take care of it, and then they would tell her how the case went, because this is not like he took someone's life. This is a bike that was stolen. It's a whole different thing. They'll just take care of it. Her if they say, well, you might want to be here, they'll say that because they want you around in case they want you to take the stand and talk about this and what it's done or whatever for the case. But no, I don't. I see it completely being handled in her attorney's hands, and then she would hear about it, and they would keep her abreast of what's going on. Oh.
Sorry,
but
I think it's all bullshit.
I don't. Yeah, I think that this one just didn't fly for me either.
We don't know what next week brings. Maybe it'll be like, oh, I called. I talked to the DA and they don't need me. We don't know.
That's what I expect.
Or maybe she has to go. But if she's going back to Alabama, she's going there for a reason, and it's not because of court. Just saying. That's all.
Yeah. Nope.
That's
not on a case like this.
So let's get to Gabe and Isabelle.
I wish we could play that one thing I put in our thing. The clip from
everybody see my body.
It was so cute.
It was cute.
I love Gabe and Isabelle.
Yes. Very much.
I love that their intros, like the dancing, like if you look at the intros when it says Jen and Rishi, like Jen's face, go rewatch this episode. Jen's face, I look like this. She's like, look at her face. It's horrible. I really do love Gabe and Isabelle. I like what a welcomed, like, I love them. I love their energy. And like I look at them and I see two people who really love each other. And that's what this show's about, right? It gives me faith in this show. I really do love I love Jamie, not Kris. But I look at Jamie and I see that Jamie loves Kris and Jamie doesn't know what she got herself into. And like it's kind of like a little bit like the same with Isabelle and Gabe, but just like a skosh different, right? But like I love Gabe and Isabelle. They're probably my two favorite. It's my favorite couple of the season. I love them. I think they're great. I love their energy. You know, it's and to see like Isabelle just so openly love Gabe and know, you know, his backstory, and she's like, "That's my man," and it gives me hope. Like, you know,
Absolutely.
it's really touching.
It is. Yeah.
You know, I love how forthcoming Gabe is. You know, and this is why I say this for last because, like, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I have a million questions. I'm a gay person, right? Like I'm in the gay umbrella, right? Like, you know, LGBTQ, all that stuff.
I'm on the her too.
And you know, I've had questions as a gay man about like certain things and procedures, and like Gabe, how honest and forthcoming he was and truthful, and like we learned a lot tonight, and like these are questions I've been wondering about for years, and like no one's ever said it. So like I'm really happy that Gabe did, and I've got nothing but respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably one of the best scenes, their whole story in that whole episode. I was glued. I laughed through the whole thing. They were absolutely adorable when they were explaining it. It was just, I couldn't stop. I think I've watched it 4 times.
But they really love each other.
Yes.
Like they're so in sync.
She's so accepting of.
Yes. I love it.
When he explains it, and she's all like, I don't know, you go, but there's so much. I wish we could just maybe for an after show, that would be an awesome.
Well, we're gonna do an after show if you want to go more into it.
Yes, because it's an amazing, her reaction to him was probably one of the best reactions I've ever seen on any of the shows.
And like they're just two people that you could see the love, like, and it's just really refreshing. Like, you know, talking about this show and we're always so negative. Danielle, Johan, like, you know, whatever, like, you know, however. But like, this is actually like, I wish they had their own show, to be honest with you. Yes. Like, I would watch them on their own spinoff, you know, and because they're great. And
yes, the doctor.
Woo! The doctor, I thought was.
I thought he was interesting.
He was helpful. I mean, what he had to say and stuff like, and how he talked through it and dived whatever into his past and tried to get a story of all that he's been through with the surgeries.
All right, so they're going to the doctor. So, you know, Gabe wants to have his top surgery done, and like I had assumed, I think everybody else did. Yeah, that like he had already got it done, right?
Yes. Yeah, I could have sworn there were scars, you know, in the first episode, but apparently not.
When he did his one-man pride parade, remember he was holding up his sign.
Makes me kind of respect Gabe more because, like, he didn't go for the top first. Like, you know, he went for the bottom, which is like the more intrusive, like, you know, which we learned from this episode is not an easy surgery, plural. You know, and but we'll get there. And like respect Gabe a whole lot, and is I nothing but respect for both of them. I'm just the honesty. I can't like say more that like I'm just and like to learn something on the Learning Channel is like a myth these days. So I learned something tonight, which I wanted to know for a long time. And you know, people aren't that eager to talk about it. Like you Google it and like, you know, you get like weird Google answers and like, you know, you don't hear it like firsthand from somebody who went through it.
Right.
You know, you don't hear Caitlyn Jenner, for instance, talking about like, right? Like, you know, it's
Explaining.
so like I'm very, very happy, like, you know, with that. So they're going to the doctor. He wants his top half done. You know, Isabelle is saying like, you know, I'm happy with the way that he is. And like, you know, looking at his chest, I didn't think he needed. I thought he had like two like nice pecs. Like that's how I saw
did
him.
notice a difference when he like I said during his one man pride parade when he was walking around. I made a comment to my husband. Because it looked like he'd had it, but that they left some skin, because I did notice that what he was talking about with the doctor is what I saw when he was walking there and when he lean did all that stuff. You'll get into it. I don't want to go too far, but I did
I
notice,
thought he had it, but like, you know, like
there was extra
they
skin
fell
that was-
out and like those were his pecs. And I'm like, damn, I wish I had pecs like that. Like that's I looking at him like I'm like, I wish my
Yes.
pecs looked like that.
Yes. But it's when they explained it, when the doctor showed
Yeah.
it and explained it, that's where I went, it's what I saw. So, and I can understand that where he would like that taken care of. You know, I can understand that part. But now he's got to decide, does he want to risk? So you go ahead.
Yeah, does he want to have scars? Because that seemed to be part of the issue. Is he doesn't want scars on his chest. You know, he really wants to look as natural as possible. And yeah, he doesn't have a very big chest. It seems like when he was in Florida and he tried to get, you know, top surgery, they didn't believe that he was a female to male transgender. So they didn't believe him. So interesting.
Yeah, because his license has already changed at that point, right? Like it said male, so like they didn't, you know, the doctor and like I live in Florida, especially Margate's in like, you know, Broward County, which is like, you know, Fort Lauderdale. So like I like that's annoying because you know Fort Lauderdale is like a very like big gay center. We lived there for 10 years, so I know. Which is, you know, I kind of felt bad for him, like that a doctor wouldn't even like believe him. Like to go so far as where he had to show the doctor like the scars to make the doctor look an asshole, which I would have done too. And like, you know, I would not have wanted to work with that doctor either. You know, at that point. And this is very delicate stuff. And I just want everybody to know I'm if I misspeak, I have nothing but respect for, you know, I'm just putting this out in front before we get into this, you know, but like
we're not going to show any pictures, but if this discussion,
we're learning together, right? So, like, you know, and I've had questions about this, like, you know, going from a girl to a guy, like, you know, and building a phallus and, you know, and rerouting all your plumbing. That's tremendous surgery.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
and we didn't know now. This is amazing. The under parts of what they were saying, the under, you know, that was to me eye-opening to understand.
You know, and we found out that like when they build it, they take it from like a piece of your arm or a piece of your leg because there's sensitivity. I had no idea like how they built it. No, because
I didn't either.
Size
really
differences too fall in that where you take it from too. So
you know,
you get to choose your size. I just thought that was the cutest thing he when he explained that part.
And you know, obviously, like, you know, and I would assume that you would want like a bigger penis, right? Like,
Ish.
sorry,
You don't want a
Georgie's like
little one.
climbing my chair
That's
right
nice.
now. No, Georgie's like all on my chair right now. Sorry, go ahead.
He talked about the procedure that they had originally taken from one leg, and then he didn't have the nerves that were necessary to connect to his clitoris, so that he would have sensitivity in his new penis. So then they had to
learn. Like, I had no idea. Like when they take the section from your leg, they hold the nerves to that.
Yeah.
So like when like they make the phallus out of it, like you have sensation and feeling. That's
why do it if you can't get the sensation, right?
right. Like no,
takes more nerves to properly hook it up, from what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize you could have less nerves on one side.
Right? Yeah. So then he had to get an additional surgery on the second leg because the first one didn't work out. And and then his urethra closed, and he had to have another surgery. So it was not a smooth and easy situation at all. And they also talk about the fact that your phallus will not become erect on its own, generally speaking. There's implants for that as well.
But I thought like the doc, like, okay, so like Gabe went there for like the top half, and like the doctor was like, well, tell me about like, the bottom, like, like, why was he asking Gabe? And I kind of know why, because like, the doctor said like, Gabe like was the second transgendered person that he'd ever seen. So obviously to the doctor, he wanted to learn.
Yes.
And talk to him about it, because, it's also new to the doctor, like in a patient-y type of way. But, if I was Gabe, I probably would have been like, listen, I'm here for like this part, not that part. That's already taken care of. So like, don't ask me those questions. But like, I thought Gabe was being a really, really, really good sport.
I felt like Gabe was okay with putting the knowledge out there. He spoke about it. They sat, as we see as this continues on, that I think that in the situation, he was glad to explain it, because no one knows what it's about anyway. So, and I see him as that kind of guy, like, really willing to put himself out there and, explain it. Yes, to teach.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I love about it. That's what I like about him. And that's why I'm 100% supportive, 100 million of him. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Gabe showed the doctor everything, and like we learned, like, and like the doctor asked him about like, God, I can't believe how he, they're on filming, and like he had to answer these questions like while like there's a camera crew there. Like, I have to give a lot of credit to Gabe. I really do. Like, I have a lot of respect for that man, so much. Then, Gabe tells us about like, because the doctor asked him about like, the implant to make your penis erect. And then Gabe tells us that he's uninterested in it.
Yeah, he was very much like, no.
And that like there's two ways to do it. Like, one's like a pipe cleaner, like where like, you could just like, kind of like, go from here and like, I guess, bend it up. And that was my understanding of it anyways.
Yes.
And then there's like another way, like where like, and I hate to use this comparison. It's like, you grab the balls and like you pump it up like one of those sneakers like back in the day, like the pumps. Sorry. That's what I thought though. Like you grab it, you grab the balls and and it blows it up. Like, what I want to know is like when you do that, like, how do you like let the steam go down? Like, how do you
I can tell you.
Addie, please tell us.
What if you squeeze too much?
You pump, it pumps, and it's what I think it's, you hold it and it releases. If you're holding it like this way, it releases the air. So you pump, and then to release, you hold on to it and it releases the air. I think I've seen it done.
Listen, something very.
So wait, so can you over pump it?
Oh,
That's
God.
what I was thinking. I was like, I hope it's gonna stop.
No, I don't want. I don't want to make a joke out of it.
No,
'Cause,
I'm
you know, I don't.
I'm curious
because
about it
this
because
is
it's
like,
very
you know,
interesting.
I
actually.
always wondered about this.
I'm not
What
trying to be
happens?
funny about it.
No,
but,
no. I'm not.
Like I'm
'cause-
serious though. I mean,
I'm so grateful that he explained it, and like, you know, he was worried that, like, you know, because he had so many complications from the surgery,
Right.
and that, like, you know,
I want him to be
the
as happy as he
bodies
can be.
reject it. That, like, you know, he was fine with.
No, Judy.
He was fine with not Judy. He was fine with, like, you know, how it was, and, you know, clearly Isabel's fine, right?
Yep.
You know,
That's
she
saying
she doesn't
that
want it
she don't
bigger.
wanna die.
No
She doesn't
muscle.
want to die.
So-
Doesn't want to die. Yeah. He said it was rigid enough. It gets the job done.
The rigid part scares me. Like, why does he rigid? Rigid to me is like, you know,
Firmness.
scaly. Like
No,
rigid.
No, rigid means
like
Firm.
veiny, like
Firm.
veiny and like
No, that's not how I see rigid.
a piece of meat.
No, it doesn't mean ridged. It's rigid.
rigid means here. Let me get the word. Let me get the word.
I didn't like the word rigid. I don't know. I thought maybe like a better word might have been like
They were
used
probably
for that.
trying to. So rigid is unable to bend or be forced out of shape, not flexible.
Well, he did say that when he wore sweatpants, he had to get a size bigger because when he sat, it would kind of, it would make a tent. So he had to get bigger clothes so that way it wouldn't. So
Yeah, he
You
said
know-
it wasn't flappy. He said it.
it's not a swinger.
So like how I see it, like I mean, Claudia, we're
It's not a
talking about it,
floppy.
and like, you know, we're two gay men who know about dicks, right? We've seen our share of dicks. Like
whoa here.
go on.
Yourself here, mister. You've seen a lot more dicks than I
No, actually, you've seen way more than I have. So there you go.
Actually, okay, yeah, you are right.
I am. I had two boys.
You are right
I had
about
two
that.
boyfriends before you, honey.
And I was
So,
a stripper, so
the-
I've seen a lot of
yeah,
dicks
and he
in
was
the
a stripper.
stripping room. So I get it. You're right.
but-
You're right. You're right.
You know, like, but Isabel is very happy with it, and you know, he doesn't like. I guess it's like a semi all the time, right? Like
Yes.
a
yes.
semi.
That's
That's
what
what
he
he
said.
has. A semi,
Mhm.
It's good
which
enough.
is
Yeah,
good enough.
Yeah, as
But
long as
yeah,
she's happy and he's happy. Well,
And
then
she's
the-
happy.
bada bing,
She doesn't
bada
want it
boom.
bigger. And like, this is no shade to them. I
Good.
respect to
Absolutely
both
not.
of them. Like,
As
you
long
know,
as they're happy,
I'm happy that we're talking about this. It's like, you know, it's a question I always wanted to know. And they're good. And again, I don't think he needs a top surgery. I guess can't if the
Well,
if the
it's-
issue
it's
is like
for
with
him.
the areola and the nipple, can't they make that smaller, like without doing like if that's what it is? Can't
They
they
can.
work on that?
I mean, that's still surgery. That's still going to be scars, and I think that was part of the issue. We saw how kind of dark and dramatic the scars were on his legs. I can see.
Yeah, they were bad.
But he's also like tattooed, like all.
Well, he was
all
covering them up.
across, too.
He was no, well, that's up.
yes.
No,
he
I'm
was-
saying up here on his
Yeah.
chest, he's got like the tattoos. I think he's tattooed all across this chest too. So
Yes.
like, I mean, it really would. I mean, there would be scarring, but like, not as bad as like the other leg without the tattoo.
It is understandable his concern and stuff, as you know what he was saying about how he just is reacting to this, because the scars, they did show them, and they are really deep around the edges. Where on the first leg they couldn't use that, they took it
Right,
up
yeah.
and realized they didn't have enough nerve, so they had to put it back down and then reattach that whole thing again. So he's got the scars. They showed it all. It looks like keloid scarring is what I'm kind of seeing a little
It's
bit.
kind of keloidy, yeah.
Yeah. So it's understandable that he wouldn't want that in the top, because with the legs, at least he can, you know, wear shorts and stuff to swim in and all that. But he's going to be
True.
no
Yeah.
shirt on the top. So, and
I think he looks fine, but
I think he's good. Like,
whatever he wants to do, I
and like
support
again,
him.
like I, going into the season, like I had already assumed in my head that he already had his like
I did
top
too. Yeah.
done.
I
So did
thought-
Cody.
I thought he looked
Did,
good.
didn't everybody like think like that was already done?
I did thought so. I thought
Maria?
that they
Like,
maybe
did you think
Yeah,
it was
I
already
did.
done?
Mm-hmm.
I
You
thought,
know?
like I said, I thought they maybe didn't take enough out because he did.
That's
when he
what I said
leaned-
to Cody. I said maybe like they took out some, and like, maybe like it wasn't enough, or
left the skin because
don't know
that's
if
what I
it
thought I
back
was seeing.
or whatever. But like I was like maybe like he wasn't happy like with the first go at it with the first top surgery, and like there was like some remnants left, and he wanted that out too. But like learning that like he never even had it at all.
But if you notice, like when the doctor was looking at it and they showed it, and he was like, I don't like the nipple area, and like he was like, I don't like this part. And he was pulling on his nipples like that. He did like the little like what is it, the little peck dance, like what guys do, like
Yes.
they make their little pecs like dance, like he flexed his pecs, and like what I mean, like they like, so it's like you couldn't even like really see it, like I don't know.
The doctor did point out something. He showed the outline of where his pectoral muscles are, and
Yeah.
that his natural breath, what were his, were actually below that, and that in order to make it look where he feels more normal. And I
Right.
think you have to put this into context too. This could be something where he personally doesn't feel. If you've had anything where where your skin has changed and it's not like it was before, no one can understand that but you in your body. And
Right.
I can tell you from experience that having your body back up to where it should be from whatever probably is more, it can be mental. Because when he showed the doctor, he leaned forward and said, see what I'm talking about? And you see what what's bothering him. So he just has to make the decision. Is it worth trying? And I don't think he's there right now.
Like, okay, and Cody like asked me this, and I didn't have a good answer for it. Like when they go in and they
Don't throw me into
change
this until
everything, like
until I know the
does that
question.
mean like did they give him like a hysterectomy? Like how
I
does
don't
that
think
work?
so. Oh,
I don't.
Like
I think that they
could he be pregnant?
well, how?
I don't know.
Unless they removed if he had ovaries as a woman, we don't know if they were taken out when he had the surgery, or do they take the ovaries and they become
Well, I guess
if
they took
testicles.
I don't think they do.
That's okay to say.
I don't know.
know.
It's these are honest questions, like
Yes.
because we don't know, and I would love Gabe to be up here so he could answer them for us, to be honest with you, because but like Cody said like, well, did he have a hysterectomy?
Pineapple said that, so he does have his own YouTube channel, and he said,
Yes,
I guess
in fact,
he said,
I was getting ready to drop it in the chat.
yeah, Pineapple said that in that he said he did get a hysterectomy, apparently.
Okay, so then there you go.
Okay.
All right, so
I have not seen his page yet, but I subscribed to it. This is Gabe's page, and we'll also put it in the
drop it,
description.
please drop his YouTube. Make sure like that everybody can be like educated, like about, because like that's what we were asking, like well, what about like this, is that still there? I mean, we don't know. Like,
do you still like have like the menstrual
no,
stuff and,
so like,
like,
there's no menstrual.
There wouldn't be at that point.
No, not at that point. No, hysterectomy.
I wish him the best.
Yeah, we
I
do
think
too.
I think he looks great. So, but whatever he does, like whatever makes him happy, and I support him. So,
Absolutely.
I love them. And like I so respect Gabe for being so honest, and like he's doing us all like a justice. Just like there's so many people that have questions about this, and I'm so happy for him that he's here, and he's like and I saw like while we as at the funeral, and I opened up Instagram real quick, and I saw like that Gabe was like apologizing, right? He had to apologize for like being too graphic, I guess.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
I haven't seen that one. I saw one
on the show, and I'm like, Jesus, what did we miss? And I'm so happy that he did. And you know, like I've been wondering these things for a long, long time, and finally somebody actually said it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And really, him and Isabel, the way that they talked about all kinds of things and the questions that she asked were interesting. You know, she asked, how did you feel about your penis when you first saw it? And he was like, I did not like it. I didn't think it. I was scared. I was scared that it, it was similar to a penis, but it wasn't a penis. Does it really look right? Is it really right? And she's like, yeah.
Sorry.
Being, a woman, and then like having a surgery, and like, having a penis when you had a vagina. I'm sure that's like different, like when and have, and the poor guy, like, he couldn't even pee. He had to have a catheter through his stomach because like there were so many complications. And
he said it when he woke up at one point with the surgery. Now, I was going to say this. He was in the hospital for 3 weeks recovering from all this stuff, had to go through all that stuff. But he said when he first woke up, all he saw was he didn't see. This was the first surgery, I think it was, where he woke up and he was expecting to see that he had a penis and he didn't. It was just, I don't know what words this. What it's okay.
It's like everyone's afraid of the wrong thing. Like it's a very delicate conversation.
So.
He had balls and no dick, right? Like
I'm trying very hard.
Like if I woke up and saw like just my balls there and no dick, I'd be like, huh? But like also I never vagina. So I don't know.
I did see pictures of his of him in the hospital. I saw.
Yeah.
Those photos were oof. Didn't show, like graphic, but just the thought of it's like.
I'm with you, Elizabeth. Like, people are like, oh, that was too much. TLC shouldn't have aired that. Like, TLC should air more of that.
Yes.
Like, it's the learning channel. And like, I have nothing but respect for Gabe. Like, he's amazing. And Isabelle, like, oh my God. They're just so perfect together. And people are in the chat are saying like, is Isabel's family going to take him in? No, we know they're not. I mean, like, come on. They maybe, I'm speculating, but like, I would assume that like, Isabel's family is going to have a hard time digesting this when they find out. I think that would be like
probably gonna have a lot of questions,
just like maybe like how Armando's family, right, with Kenny, like the gay marriage thing, like that type of like and then hopefully Isabel's family will come around just like Armando's dad did. But only time will tell. But I have to say, I love them. I love watching them, and it makes me happy to actually comment on this show again because I believe them.
Yep.
I believe them. Like you see me on live saying, "Fuck this, it's fake, 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 fake." I believe them with all my heart. Just like I believe Jamie and Kris. I believe Jamie. I don't believe Kris. But I believe I could see that storyline. I believe Jen and Rishi. And that's a lot for me. Like believing like half the cast. So that's why I'm saying this season's actually not bad.
Favorite line of Isabel's? All penises are ugly.
Yes. Ay, qué lindo. Nobody says ay, qué lindo to a penis.
Well, she's never seen me in Cody's, but that's okay. And she never will, and that's fine. Yeah, like, I've actually, I want to give TLC like a cup, a little snap cup that like they're actually like bringing romances and awareness and stuff to like to stuff that like hasn't been seen before. And like I have to give like a real like a standing ovation to Gabe because like I'm so happy that he's on the show. And I look forward to learning more about like what he has to go through, and learn and
What else
seeing.
is there to learn? He thought
I don't
the
know,
first
but
time he used it was going to fall off.
or get stuck inside.
Did he get trapped in there?
But I would be worried too. I kind of would be worried too. Like, what if I put it in and like it just stays in, and like like
So just move apart, just move away from each other.
those are like I
That
think
whole
legit
scene was so-
concerns. I really do. So
Her reaction to all of that when he was talking was just their facial expressions where they were trying not to smile, but you'd see it crack or whatever. That was absolutely gold. That whole scene.
yeah, I'm very happy with the season so far, and you never hear me saying that at all. Even when Happily is on, I'm like, fuck this show. But I'm good. I'm actually looking forward to next week.
Yes.
Like I want I kind of like want to see like next week's show now. So I'm good, and let's end this because 2.5 hours almost, and then do an after show. So let's end this live. I'll do a quick after show, which will be like 15 minutes. What time is that? Oh, it's 11:33.
Hopefully
Okay.
Pineapple got the info she was looking for. She was looking for how to upgrade her membership, and I think hopefully it was taken care of. I'm sure your moderator, sorry.
And I'm going to set up the lives for this week. So tomorrow will be the Housewives of New Jersey with a special guest, hopefully. And Thursday we will be doing Sister Wives, and it's season 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which I added. And if you watch, like, come on, like it's like when like you have a professor, like you miss a class for 1 week, and you're like, oh look, like we had no class this week. Well, bitch, I'm back. And I'm adding the homework onto it. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Sister Wives season 2, and then we're going to be having our crest, which our listen. Our crest contest. Whoever has the best crest, family crest. Will you go away? Whoever has the best family crest will win. And then Friday,
take my class.
You're still talking. I was just listening 5 minutes ago.
Your class should have ended
And
hour
then
ago.
Friday we're having a good interview with a 90 Day Fiancé cast member who I've never had on before, who is making headlines right now. So that's all I'll say about that.
Who is it?
Everybody, I love
He
you all.
almost
Thank you
said
so
it.
much, Addie, Maria. Thank you as always for being just the best panelists. Again, meet tomorrow night. We'll be live with Brooklyn and Wicked and Teddy and maybe 146 for Jersey. And then that's it. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and much love to you all. Have a good night, everybody.